Hello, everyone. This is David. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I thought I'd jump on for a little bit before I gotta get dinner going. So, how this works? I'm here. I'm at your disposal for the next however many minutes, seconds, days, maybe. No, not days. That's not going to happen. Whatever questions you have for me, anything in regards to the MBLEx, if you want me to go over any content or anything, kind of like I do on my podcast, which you can subscribe to, the MBLEx Test Prep Podcast, I'll do it. Just send a message or use the chat feature in the live chat I'm looking at right now. And just send your question, and I'll do my best to answer. So while I wait for questions, hopefully there are questions. Anyway, while I wait for questions, a couple of updates on the MBLEx test prep. What's the word I want to use? Whatever. Just for my company. Here's what's going on. I've written a pathology book. It's called Pathology for Massage Therapy. You can find that on Amazon right now at the low price of $38.40, I believe. That price will not stay there forever, so if you want that book, go pick it up. Again, it's Pathology for Massage Therapy. I am putting the finishing touches on an updated Kinesiology Made Easy, 3rd edition, so definitely go check that out at some point. It's like I said, it's not done. It's not done yet, but soon, probably in the next week, it's going to be done. I am also putting close to the finishing touches on the next MBLEx test prep study guide, full study guide, the 2020 version. So a lot of the same stuff as the previous versions, but I've added more stuff, and only made it about 5 pages longer, which is incredible. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I did. Added a lot more scenarios. There's an assignment in there called critical thinking. I need to critically use my mouth, I suppose. Critical thinking, where I give you a bunch of scenarios and you have to figure out how to respond to each one of these scenarios and just stuff like that. So I've added a bunch of those. See what else, more information. I added stuff like the meninges. I added more on business. Just a lot of great stuff, and I'm pretty proud of the book and how it's coming along. So again, it's getting close, but I don't know. I'll get there eventually. What else? What else am I working on? I'm working on a couple other books I'm not going to talk about just yet, but at some point those will be available. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on in my world as I am sitting here waiting for any questions to arise from any of you. Let's see. Be right back. In fact, here is the Kinesiology Made Easy that I am currently working on. Like I said, it's in the works, not completely done yet. I got a couple slight things to fix in here, but other than that, it's pretty much done. Like just really fun stuff. A lot more detailed than the last book I did on kinesiology, where it would just have the picture of the muscles. I actually included all of the pictures of the actions that the muscles do, special notes about the muscles. Let me see if I can find one. Strong now. Hi, I'm studying now. That is a good thing. I also included little bits of information right down here that give you, like I said, special notes about the muscle that you're learning about. Really fun stuff. Stuff that could be useful on the MBLEx. Now, the difference between this and what I have in the MBLEx book, this, I have a lot more muscles in here. This is all just muscles. All just muscles. Whereas the MBLEx book, maybe it's, I don't know, 30, 35 muscles. This has, I don't know, a lot more. We'll just say that, a lot more. So I will let you know when that is available. Like I said, I'm waiting for questions, comments, concerns, anything you got, send my way, and I will talk about whatever you want me to talk about. We can discuss anything that needs to be discussed. I am here for you. So for the next few minutes, anyway, what do you got? What do you got for me? Anybody? Any questions on it? Absolutely anything. MBLEx related, anything, any information you're having trouble with, or anything you want me to go over. Well, being overwhelmed it's a natural feeling, unfortunately. It's a big test for sure. How long have you been studying? We'll just start there. How long have you been studying for the MBLEx? And are you done with school yet? Because that's an important step. Cats are freaking out. You've been studying for 3 weeks. Okay. How are you studying? Finished. Yeah, a long time ago. So what I always recommended my students do when I taught the test preparation course at the school I used to work at, I would always recommend that students schedule their exam as soon after my class was done as possible, because that's going to be, as you know, it's not going to be any more fresh than it will be, a month or two down the line, down the road. It's late. All right, it's late. So that's what I recommended. Now, since 2012, that was a long time ago. What, 7 years ago, right? I can do math. 7 years. So there is a lot to relearn, unfortunately. Have you scheduled your MBLEx yet? Have you scheduled the exam? Do you know when you're actually taking the test? Because that's important. You want to give yourself, okay, good. I'm glad you have not scheduled that yet. You want to give yourself plenty of time to study for the exam. It's a big exam. You don't want to just jump into it after being out of school for 7 years. That's not going to help you. Chances are you're not going to do well on the test if you've only been studying for a few weeks after not being in school for so long. So what you need to do is definitely take your time. Take your time studying and relearning a lot of that information. If it takes you 100 hours to study, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to get everything right now, because you don't. Because you haven't scheduled your test. What you need to do is take a deep breath. Just know that it will come back. You will get the information back in your head as long as you are studying consistently. Have you picked up my study guide? Let me go grab a copy. I'll be right back. My study guide, MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for the MBLEx 2019 edition. Now, I do have a 2020 version that I am working on, so maybe you want to study in the meantime, and then when that version is available, pick that up. I might be a little biased, but I think my study guides are better than anything you're going to find on the market. Here's a pathology section. I was showing the kinesiology section, and this is how I operate. Is I give you the most important information, the stuff that you are most likely to see on the MBLEx. I don't give you a bunch of filler information. I've even got all this medical terminology that you can learn. Got a massage section right here, massage therapy section. It talks about all this stuff that you could possibly see on the MBLEx. Okay, so I recommend picking up my next study guide. It also comes with 5 full practice tests. Now, here's the fun thing about my product, my study guide. Not only do you get the book, you get the online material as well, completely free. You don't have to pay a single cent for it. So what that entails is Unlimited practice tests. I have a test bank of questions that I personally wrote. How many? About 23 to 2,500 test questions on this test bank, and I could add more. I'm just so busy writing these books. I got to get around to it eventually. Unlimited practice tests. They're all timed, just like the MBLEx. They're all randomized, just like the MBLEx. They don't take into account the difficulty like the MBLEx does, so it's not like an adaptive test like the MBLEx. Unfortunately, there's no way I can do that. But you get unlimited practice tests. You get free pre-made, it's one of my cats, pre-made flashcards that you can use on your phone, on your computer, wherever, at any time. You can use these on the go, pre-made, and those they're the program I use actually does build quizzes out of those. So might be something that'll help. Geez, what else? Video lectures. So if you're having trouble scanning, if you're having trouble learning a lot of this stuff, chances are you're not in school, right? Like you're not attending any classes to help to relearn this stuff, right? I assume. Anyway, waiting for an answer. I know there's a delay. So anyway, if you're not in school, okay, you need an instructor to help you relearn this information. So if you aren't in school, I have video lectures where it's just like you and me learning this stuff together, where I teach you this information, and it's kind of like you're in a classroom setting. I have about 10 hours worth of video that you can use to learn on. Let's see, I have massage therapy. I am planning on kind of redoing these videos at some point in the future. Hopefully by the end of the year, they'll be updated with the release of the next book, whenever that is. But they'll always be there for you whenever you need them, even after you're done with the MBLEx. Like, they don't expire. It's not a subscription. You don't have to pay. They're always going to be there. Okay. So I have massage therapy, anatomy and physiology, pathology. I have bony landmarks, medical terminology, and muscle actions. I think those are all in my videos that I have, my lecture videos. Like I said, it's just like sitting in class with me, and I like to think that I'm a halfway decent instructor. So yeah, that will definitely help you relearn that information a lot quicker. Okay. I also have pictures and stuff that you can download. I have one-page study guides where it's the absolute bare minimum information that you need to know distilled onto one page for each subject. Patrice, hello. You are in school. You need all of the videos, I assume, is what we're talking about. Well, I have the videos. The videos are there. I think they're great. They're awesome possum. So the videos I have on YouTube are the very first videos I did, not up to date, still decent, but you know, you're a lot better off with the updated videos. So my video sessions, the videos that you watch, they're completely free with the study guide. If you purchase the study guide, you get all of that stuff 100% free. And if it's free, it's me. All right. So I wouldn't give you something like a study guide and then say, hey, pay for this other stuff too. No, it's not that way. It's not how it works. So that's what I recommend. I mean, of course, I'm going to shill my product, but I really think it is the best product out there to help you study for the MBLEx. So definitely consider it. Keep an eye out on my YouTube page for information on the next version of my study guide. I say it's pretty close to being done. I have a few edits to make. Then I have to proofread it, make sure everything looks good, everything sounds good, and then I'll release it. I have not decided on a price yet. Right now, the 2019 version is available on Amazon for, hold on, $49.99, I think. And I am selling it through my own sales channel for a slightly cheaper price. I think it's like $48. So I'd save you a couple bucks doing it through there. My sales channel is called Wanderer Studios. That's the name of my publishing company, Wanderer Studios. So definitely check that out. My name is David Merlino. That's David Merlin with an O at the end. Easiest way to remember that, I suppose. Licensed massage therapist of, 14 years, 14. I've been preparing students for licensing exams like the national exam and the MBLEx for 8 years, 9 years, something like that. Doing math in my head, not the best, but so I like to think I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I appreciate that. Thank you for possibly ordering the book. Hey, can we keep it down? I'm doing something. My children. I'm surprised the baby isn't freaking out. Okay, so test anxiety. I saw your question, Melissa. Hello, Melissa.
Melissa.
Hey, Owen. I'm doing something. Can you not talk, please? Thank you. So test anxiety. Okay, so here's the fun thing. It would take me forever to go over all of the ways to kind of work with test anxiety and how to get over test anxiety. I have a podcast called the MBLEx Test Prep Podcast. All you have to do is search for it on iTunes or in the podcast app on your iPhone or on Stitcher, SoundCloud, et cetera, et cetera. You'll find it. I have these podcasts, and I did an entire episode on study skills, test-taking techniques, and tips on reducing test anxiety. And that was kind of a long episode. That was almost an hour long, I think. I can actually figure out exactly how long it is. Let me sign on to my hosting website. I'll be able to tell you. But it's a really long podcast where I go over all of this stuff that can help you prepare for the MBLEx. It doesn't go over any specific information, just information on how you can prepare for the exam. Let's see, 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 56 seconds. So you're definitely getting your money's worth because it's free, I suppose. So definitely I would subscribe to my podcast. And I did just release another episode today on the difference between origins and insertions, because I know a lot of people have trouble with origins and insertions, figuring out which is which. And it can be kind of confusing for some people. So I'd throw that out there, and hopefully that helps clear up some of that information for you guys. So definitely subscribe to my podcast. It's completely free. You don't have to pay for it. I don't do it as much as I'd like. I have 2 kids. I work at home writing these books, and I don't always have the time to record a podcast because the baby is loud and my other son is loud, and they're about to be loud right now. Owen, leave him alone. Owen, let go. I don't care. Let go. Thank you. Like I said, I don't always have time to record podcasts because it's not the right environment. So I try to do podcasts when I can. When school starts up, I will have more time available to do more podcasting. So definitely subscribe to that podcast. You get a lot of great information out of that podcast. It's kind of like I'm sitting in front of you teaching you all of this stuff, even though you got your earbuds in, you're going on a walk, you're at the gym or whatever, you're just doing all kinds of stuff while learning about the body and preparing for the MBLEx. So subscribe to my podcast, please. Again, I do have this study guide. In this study guide, I do have tips on reducing test anxiety. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. It's that little section right there. It's not too expansive. That section, I go way more in depth on the podcast, so definitely listen to the podcast for all of that information. Like I said, it's over an hour of information, and it's free. You can't go wrong with free. So definitely subscribe to the podcast, please. yeah, check that out. If you have any suggestions after you listen to the podcast, you check out the episodes I've got. If you have any suggestions on things you want on the podcast, definitely send me a message. You can message me here on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/MBLEx test prep. Definitely go subscribe to that, like that, whatever the term is for Facebook. So you get all of the updates there too. You can even email me. My email address is david@mblextestprep.com, and suggest a topic that you would like covered on the MBLEx Test Prep podcast. And if it's something I think is good, a good subject to cover, then I will cover it. It's just that easy. So again, if you have any questions about anything on the MBLEx, now is the time. I am currently available for maybe the next 10 minutes. So any questions on preparing for the MBLEx or any information you would like clarified for the MBLEx, I am your guy. Now is the time. So send your questions now. I'm looking at the live chat and there are no updates. I see Melissa says, okay, I'll check that out. Thanks for all your help. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me, by the way. It's nice to see we got seven whole people viewing my my live stream. I wasn't expecting that because I don't do live streams a whole lot anymore. I used to do them a lot more, but I promise, of course, as I say, 7. I got 7 whole people. 1 drops off. No, I'm just 6. I took the test twice. I want to do better than the first 2 times. Well, I would hope so. I would hope you want to do better. If you don't mind me asking, how close to passing were you? Medical terminology, what all would you think we should focus on? Everything with medical terminology. Definitely the most common medical terms that you're going to see, stuff like the word roots like reno or arterio and stuff like that, hepato. All of those things you need to learn because that gives you that solid foundation. Like if I see anything that has the word hep in it, I know it has something to do with the liver. If I see anything that has rene in it, R-E-N or R-E-N-E, that means it has something to do with the kidneys. Okay, so you start with the word roots and that kind of builds your foundation. So always start with the word roots. And then you can add in the prefixes and the suffixes. And of course I have in my study guide, I wouldn't leave you hanging like that. I have all of the prefixes and suffixes that you should know, maybe a little more than you need to know, but I'm just being thorough with this stuff. All right there. And I also have the general medical terms right here, stuff like acute and chronic, and malaise, necrosis, ischemia, etc. And in the book, I have both of these pages. Those are all word roots. So I give you plenty of word roots. And a lot of the stuff you already know, like dento. You know what dento means, right? It means teeth, like a dentist. Dentist works on teeth. Okay? So a lot of this stuff is stuff that you already know or you can figure out just by looking at it and kind of thinking about it. Not sure if you can hear that. The cat is scratching on this large box of textbooks that I've got. Really got to send those out. Yeah, so I've got, and just to make sure that you understand the information, I've got matching assignments too, so you can do matching on that. And Owen, please be quiet. And I've also got this assignment where you break down a medical term. I give you the name of a disease, and you break it down into its individual parts: word root, prefix, suffix, and then on this part, you build the term based on its definition. Like without blood, an means without, and blood, emia. So anemia, something I would recommend picking up. So kinesiology is definitely one of the more difficult subjects. I think that's the most difficult subject that you have to know, just because there's so much that goes into it: origins, insertions, actions, innervations, synergists, antagonists, etc., etc. Now, I do have the video lectures. Like I said, I have video lectures on the bony landmarks. So I teach you the most important bony landmarks. I don't go over every single bony landmark, just the important ones, the ones that you need to know. I go over I have a video on muscle actions as well. So not only do I go over the bony landmarks, I go over the muscles that originate and insert onto the bony landmarks. And then the other video, I show you what those specific muscles do, with the help of a good friend of mine, Mike, who used to not be able to pronounce iliopsoas until I corrected him, and now it's an inside joke between us. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun watching that video. Chemistry I have with Mike, incredible. So kinesiology, again, I gotta send you back to the MBLEx Test Prep podcast. I do talk about a lot of that stuff. I've done a specific episode on, like I said, origins and insertions. I just posted that today. So that is available for you right now to learn about what origins and insertions are. I've done one on agonists, synergists, and antagonists. So that's available. And my plan, I've already done one episode like this, where I talk about specific muscles and say, well, this muscle originates here and inserts here, and here's what it does. I give you all the information you need to know about that muscle. I've done one episode like that on the muscles of the arm, coracobrachialis, biceps brachii, and brachialis. I don't think I put triceps in there. I might have. That was a long time ago. If you can break down to 10 minutes of each for all videos, so you want me to do quick videos, like really quick, rapid fire information? Is that what you're talking about? Not the live one? Yeah, I mean, just like in general, do like quick videos, quick 1 minute. Here's the breakdown of all the important stuff you need to know in 1 minute or 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Some stuff I don't need 10 minutes for. That's the problem. Trying to stretch out some of that information over 10 minutes is not really sure I can do it, because I just don't want to overwhelm you. That's the thing. Like I can stretch that stuff out, but then you start being overwhelmed, and I don't want my students to be overwhelmed. So I'll see what I can do. We'll see what I can do. Like I said, I do have the podcasts. Those are a little more in depth. I'll see if I can make some videos where I'm doing more bite-sized information. I do videos once in a while. I think I did one on specific test technique, like eliminating answers. I think I did one on homeostasis. I can't remember. It's been so long. Just check my channel. They're all there. Okay, so you want stuff like kinesiology, talking about specific muscles, but only in small portions. I got to remember not to do stuff like that on camera. Stop it. Okay, so I'll see what I can do. That's a good suggestion, and I'll try to do. Yeah, I'll throw more stuff out and into live streams if you want. I mean, I'm here now. I can give you some information now if you want. Just throw something at me, and I'm here for the next couple minutes. Anyway, it's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta start dinner. So what do you think? Anything? Yeah, I talk a lot. I'm sorry. Yeah, 10 minutes, not super overwhelming. Oof, there we go. I'm standing against the kitchen island right here, leaning over. It's not really comfortable on my back, but What muscles do you think I'm straining right now, being in this position up against my kitchen island? I guess you can't see the rest of me, but I'm hunched over. What do you think? If I had a medical condition, what would that be? Look at that. Anyone? Side here. What do you think? Anyone? Come on. What medical condition? If I'm hunched over like that, that region, a bit of an excessive curvature, don't you think? What medical condition do I have right now? Nobody? Come on. Kyphosis. That was kyphosis. Also called dowager's hump. So dowager's an old lady who has been widowed or something like that. Kyphosis. It was kyphosis. Sorry, Danielle. It's lordosis is hypercurvature of the lumbar vertebrae. See, it's a weird position. You can't see it right now. I'm sorry. If I were at my desk, it would be better. But so kyphosis is a rounding of the shoulders. Usually go in like this, right? There are two muscles that are primarily responsible for kyphosis. What do you think? What two muscles might be responsible for a rounding of the shoulder like this? We're looking for muscles that protract the scapulae, bring them forward. Yeah. I went to the gym too. Sorry. What two muscles do you think would round the shoulders like that? Oh, so close. So close. It is not pec major. Try again. Now we're looking for muscles that move the scapula. Pec major doesn't attach to the scapula, so it doesn't move the scapula, right? You're close. Not trapezius. We're looking for muscles on the front of the body. When they contract, they're going to pull the scapula to the front of the body. Okay. Now this, I'll give you the important information about one of these muscles. This muscle originates on ribs 3, 4, and 5 and inserts onto the coracoid process. So what muscle goes like this? From here, coracoid process. Or from here, the ribs to the coracoid process. And it's not pec major. Pec major goes all the way over here to the humerus, to the lateral lip of the intertubercular groove. What do you think? This muscle is deep to the pec major. You can access it by going under the pec major right there. Don't judge my work. Nobody? I know kinesiology is not everybody's favorite. Yes, thank you, Danielle. It is pectoralis minor. So origins and insertions, the origin doesn't move, right? Ribs 3, 4, and 5. That part of the muscle stays in place. The insertion is where an action is performed. So because it inserts on the coracoid process, which is part of the scapula, when that contracts, it's going to bring the insertion towards the origin, shorten that muscle, and that's going to draw the scapula forward into protraction or abduction. And I'll give you the other muscle. The other muscle that might protract the scapula, causes kyphosis, is the serratus anterior. And unfortunately, I can't show you that because I'm not thin enough. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, okay? At least my arms look huge. Look at it.
Dude, when you're an adult, your arms are huge.
Are Uncle Steven's arms huge? No. You know why my arms are huge? Because I lift weights. I work out. Do concentric
So my
and
arms look a
eccentric
little bit
contractions.
huger, see?
Yeah, your arms are enormous. My 6-year-old's arms are enormous. Absolutely enormous, because he does concentric and eccentric contractions. Serratus anterior. Serratus anterior is the other muscle that protracts the scapula. So when those two muscles are really tight, you're going to pull the scapula in, and then it'll give you the hunchback appearance, kyphosis. So hopefully that was a little bit of information that you now know, and hopefully you don't forget it. Hopefully. Hey, dude, can you stop with the bag, please? Get your hand out of there. I think it's empty. You can, yeah, just set it right there. It's very, yes, it's very loud. Thank you. Okay, well, I am about to sign off. Again, I have to shill my book one last time. Shameless promotion. MBLEx Test Prep, Complete Study Guide for MBLEx 2019. Again, I do have the 2020 edition coming out. I'm aiming for September 1st, I hope. So if you are in a hurry, pick this one up. If not, if you can wait for that one. It will be better, have more information. Not that this one isn't great. This one's great. There's just more stuff in the updated one. Yeah, you can't go wrong either way. And of course, I do have Kinesiology Made Easy, the 3rd edition, being worked on. So be on the lookout for that if you want, really in-depth, more in-depth, more muscles to study than what's in the what's in this. Like I said, I give you the bare essentials in this, the stuff that you are most likely to see. In this, I go more in depth. Like on this one, what do I have? Orbicularis oris. I don't know if that's backwards. Is this backwards for you? Can you see this the way it's supposed to be? Orbicularis oris? Because on my screen, it's backwards. I don't know. That says orbicularis oris. I don't have that muscle in the MBLEx guide. I don't have any of the forearm muscles. I have a few forearm muscles or hand muscles or anything like that. Just whatever. If you want those muscles, get this too. I think I'm going to price this at $30. So it's definitely not going to break the bank. Worth it. Again, you can use this as a reference book for your practice after you are done with the MBLEx. Well, that's great. Awesome. Thank you for getting the 2019 version. I appreciate that. I am a small business owner, and every sale helps. I really appreciate it, more than you ever know. And hey, since you've got my book, I am now your instructor, so feel free to email me at any time with any questions you have. I'm always here for you. Can't find that with other study guides, huh? Anyway, so Kinesiology Made Easy is a great reference book. I would show you the pathology book I have, but I don't have any copies. I had interviews in that book, and I gave the only copy I had to a musician who I interviewed for the book, who was coming through town, and that was the only one I had. And I said, here, you gave me your story for the book. Here is your book. So unfortunately, I don't have the pathology book. You can find it on Amazon. Just look for Pathology for Massage Therapy. It's got kind of the same layout as this, the diagonal thing across, the blue colors with the yellow text. You'll find it. There, you'll find it. And like I said, I do have a couple more books I am working on, but I can't share any information about those right now. So sorry. Well, thank you everyone for the study guide purchase and everything. I appreciate it. I'd like to have a group of people checking each other studying, because I cannot motivate by myself. It's motivation's. If it's if you don't have someone pushing you, sometimes it can be kind of difficult. I stay motivated because I know I need to write books and stuff to pay my bills, so that keeps me motivated. But I mean, just think about that. You want to pay your bills? Study for the test. Think about sometimes negative thinking is a good thing. So a lot of people don't understand. It's like, think about what will happen if you don't pass the test. And that might motivate you to actually study and ensure that you pass the test. So on my website, I've kind of been kicking around the idea of setting up like a Discord channel or something like that. I don't know how I feel about message boards or something, but chat rooms and stuff. If you guys are interested in something like that, let me know, and I can possibly get something set up where we can join together. You can all converse with me, as exciting as that is for some people. And we can keep each other motivated, and we can talk about studying and all this really fun stuff. So if you're interested in having me set up like a Discord chat channel, I don't even know what you call Discord. It's kind of like Facebook Messenger, kind of similar. I'll figure it out. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I will try to get one set up. I don't know if we'll make it public or private. It might be private just for people that buy the textbook. Makes it more exclusive, I suppose. But I'll definitely open it up to my YouTube audience if I do it. I'll put some feelers out and see what I can do. So, all right. Well, I have to. It's now 11 minutes past when I said I would sign off, so I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me this evening, everybody. Even those of you that did not participate. Really breaks my heart, but what are you gonna do? I'm just kidding. And now the baby's freaking out. I gotta go. So again, thank you very much. Check me out. Check out my podcast, MBLEx Test Prep Podcast. I promise I will do more live streams. I will do more podcasts as well. I'm gonna try to do at least a live stream a week. Hopefully, no promises. I'm gonna try. Okay. Take it easy. Farewell.